Hold on a moment, Bernard. Our path is blocked.
Yes.
Do we take responsibility for having blocked our path? Or do we blame someone else for this? I feel this is an important lesson we're confronting here.
Again, it always depends.
Oh.
It depends on the story you want to
How
choose.
did I know you were going to say that?
You see, you can choose a story that works for you.
All right.
So, you know, it can just be a moment to stop and to review.
Yep.
Or it could be a challenge to get over.
Yep.
You
or
know,
a warning not to go any further.
Or a warning. So it depends on the story you want to have. I don't like warnings, stories.
No. Okay. All right.
See, so I rather choose to see it as an opportunity to step over something,
Right.
and know that you're getting into another reality again.
Yes, it does feel different here. So you've talked to us about Brom's rule number 1, which is changing the patient's story.
Yes.
You were about to tell me about
Brom's rule number 2. So Brom's rule number 2 is changing your story.
You're the doctor,
practitioner.
Sorry, the practitioner.
Because the thing is that the doctor doesn't really see himself as part of the healing process.
Conventionally,
because he's so busy with the prescription and the patient, and he doesn't see himself as part of the story that's going on here. But if you think about it, I have mentioned before, for example, the ECG. You remember what I said about the ECG? The body is run through and through with energy fields.
Yeah.
And the ECG, which is electromagnetic recording of the heart, can be picked up 1 meter outside the body. So we also know that energy carries information. So that's why I love the story, the Chinese, you know, they talk about the heart being emperor. Now, the ECG runs throughout the whole body, down to the toes, up into the head, so that's the electromagnetic field of the heart, passes through every single cell in the body.
Giving and taking information.
So the heart is emperor. Heart sends information to the whole kingdom and receives information back from the whole kingdom.
Yeah.
So that's how the emperor is able to handle his empire.
Right.
Because he sends information and receives information. So when we talk about the human being, what is this human being we're talking about? Well, we know it's got a body, but it's not just a body. It's energy, information, consciousness, and matter, particles, and quantum. You're not just a body sitting in a chair talking to a patient. You're a matter, energy, informational system, body, emotions, mind, spirit system, talking to a patient with an electromagnetic field, which is spread out in that room, encompassing the patient. The patient's got a heart with an electromagnetic field, spread out in that room as well, and there's a heart-to-heart conversation going on between the doctor and the patient, heart-to-heart conversation.
Yes.
While the head-to-head conversation is one thing, and then we got all these other energy fields with the chakras and the auras and all these different energy fields. So the doctor sitting in that room is participating on many different levels. There's a conscious level that he's working on to talk about the patient's story and all that and lifestyle management, but there is an underlying, unconscious, unseen process that's going on. You talk about good vibes. Oh, this place has got good vibes around here. You know, I feel good in this place. What do we mean by good vibes? It's the energy information that we are walking through.
So the picture you painted of all the stuff that's going on when
Yes.
a patient is sitting opposite their doctor.
Yes.
If I'm putting myself in the seat of the doctor, the regular trained, conventionally practicing doctor, my mind is blown. I'm complete. That's way too much information for me to process. At the same time as trying to get my 10 minutes and do something useful for this patient. doctors I know have come to you over the years, have come to you saying, this, what you're saying is interesting. I'd like to do a bit of this in my own practice.
So look, it's important that when you're sitting in front of a patient, you don't carry your stuff into that room.
Okay.
That you just had an argument with your wife. That you don't now, because then you're not for the patient. For me, doctors have to learn meditation, they have to learn about inner peace, they have to learn about how to control their emotional stuff, because for me, a doctor needs to be a healer.
Wow, yes.
So that means that he needs to, when a patient is sitting in front of him, he must have some level of inner peace. He must be some level of understanding what it means to be listening. The skill of listening means that you have to be out of your own emotional stuff.
Because your attention is a very fragile thing, isn't it?
You have to be, so your attention has to be for that patient. You have to be present for the person. You have to be open-hearted, open-minded.
Yeah.
Open-hearted, open-minded, what does that mean?
It sounds very simple and very obvious. We all grow up knowing what it's like to be listened to.
Yes.
The beauty of someone actually paying attention to you when you need it. But we get used to not getting that.
So
in our work, in our families, when we go to the doctor.
That's why one of the things I've developed is what I call mind maps.
Oh yeah.
So the purpose of my mind maps is to help people negotiate inner space.
Negotiate inner space?
Inner space.
How do you mean?
Because if I say to you, you need to be in the place of inner peace.
Okay.
Where is that? Where to find that place?
Okay.
And remember that when I met my guru teacher at the Taj Mahal, he said to me, "You're never going to find inner peace until you find the Taj Mahal inside you. You don't need to go to that temple out there. You need to find your own inner temple."
Right. And that needs a map of some sort.
I have a map how to get there. So the maps also help to work with people to negotiate this inner space and how to find inner peace. That's the whole consultation process. Is first of all looking at the underlying causes, changing the patient's story. Brom's rule number 2 is know your own story, that you're in the right place for that patient. Do you know how to listen?
Yeah.
Do you know how to empty yourself of your own stuff so that you are really present for the patient? Do you know how to expand your electromagnetic field? Because you can. I mean, the electromagnetic field of the heart can be big or small. How do you expand your electromagnetic field? Guess what? The more love you have in your heart, the more love you have in your heart, the more the field of the heart expands.